Welcome! One part of gaming I've previously completely ignored is mobile phone gaming. The reason being, from my experience, most of the games suck and they're either full of really nasty microtransactions where you hit a paywall and you cannot progress any further within about 15 to 30 minutes, or every 4.5 seconds you get an advert pop up with an evil talking bunny rabbit saying your device has been infected with a virus, give us your credit card details or your internet search history will be shared with the world. And that's quite a scary thought. There's the odd little gem, don't get me wrong, you've got some of the old GTA games on there, you pay for them, but once you've paid for them that tends to be about it, or at least in my experience. And Mario Kart's good fun on your phone. I actually made a video about it last year. Don't pretend you watched it, nobody did, but that's okay. The gems are few and far between is my whole point, so I tend to ignore it. But I've now discovered you can emulate on your iPhone old classic games, retro games, which I love. And it is so easy, even me, with the technical expertise of a baked potato, can do it. Let me show you. Right, so here we are. So first of all, we need to download the emulator now. Obviously I've already got this, but I want to show you what it is. So if you, and I apologise, I'm going to probably knock the camera a few times. Delta Emulator is what you want to look for. You can see it's pre-filled there. And this is the one you want, the Delta Game Emulator. It's completely free to download. I'm sure there are ways you can spend money on it, but I've never found any. You see all the little bits there. And that's the one you want. Now, as I said, I've already got the emulator, already got it downloaded. So what we're going to do is open it up. There we go. Here we are, so we're into the emulator. Now, as you can see, I've already got a few ROMs on it because I've been playing it. That's how I know it's good and why I wanted to make the video, because it's so easy. It does divide up into systems. So at the minute I've got a couple of NES games. I've got Bucky O'Hare and DuckTales. I love Bucky O'Hare. It's a cartoon from the 90s. Only had one series, but brilliant. I've got a few SNES games. Got Cannon Fodder, Choplifter 3, and Batman and Robin. 3 of my favourite 16-bit era games of all time. And I've got one Game Boy game. It says GBC, which obviously stands for Game Boy Color, but it puts your original Game Boy games in here. And it's called Ghostbusters 2, obviously. We've probably all heard of Ghostbusters. I suppose this also shows you that how much I really do like licensed games. It's not something I just say. To add a ROM on, very, very easy. What we're going to do, and I'm trying to do this without putting the fingers in the way of the screen. So click the little plus in the top right, and it will say iTunes and Files. And we want to go to Files. Now, obviously I can't show you how to download a ROM, but if you can use Google, you can find them. And as you can see in here, in the download part of my folder, my files, and I've not set this up or anything, it just automatically went to this, so they're all in one place, which is handy. These are the ROMs I've got. So you've got Choplifter 3, Cannon Fodder, Bucky O'Hare, Batman and Robin, Ghostbusters 2, and DuckTales. And I've left one on here to install to show you. And that is Ultimate Spider-Man on the Game Boy Advance. You just select it and press open. And automatically it's created a new section, Game Boy Advance, and there it is. You cannot get simpler than that. Now, you will sometimes find that this picture doesn't load up. Don't worry about it. I mean, you can see here on the NES games it hasn't, but they work fine. If you do go into the game and you just get a blank screen, don't automatically assume that the ROM isn't working. Just simply close the app, reopen it, and it'll work then. And let's go into it so I can show you. So this has worked straight away, so I haven't had to close the app or anything. It's not something that happens regularly. Apologies for the blast of sound then. And here we are, Ultimate Spider-Man on the Game Boy Advance. You can see here you've got your control pad at the bottom. And it looks like it's even saved my saved game from when I was playing it previously, because I uninstalled it to reinstall it to show you. So that's clever. You can go into the level, and it just runs perfectly. The touchscreen controls here are pretty good. You get the feedback, like with the vibration setting. The only thing I will say is it can be a little bit difficult if you need to like hold the L button and then press a direction and then a shoot button. That's not easy. Obviously you can use something like a backbone controller, or you can even connect a Bluetooth controller if you so wish. Easy peasy. But we'll just stick with the touch screen for now. Obviously I've not been reading the controls or anything, but I'm just basically want to show you it running. It's running at full speed. I've got this game physically on the Game Boy Advance, and this is running exactly as it should do. Obviously it's all lit, which is nice. The iPhone screen, because it is a good screen. There's literally nothing wrong with this. Obviously I don't know all the controls, but yeah, perfect. Buttons are responsive. It looks great. Good aspect ratio. Perfect to play. And if you want to make it bigger, you can do it like that and play with the controls like this. Which, again, I don't think looks bad, considering this is obviously bigger than the original Game Boy Advance screen. You tell me what's wrong with this. Nothing at all. Oh. And we'll leave that there because I've just died, because I'm not very good at the game. But how easy was that? Seriously. Now, you do have here this menu button. If you click this, and you can save state, which literally you go into, press the cross at the top, and you've saved your game. If you want to load it, when you go into the game, load state, just click on it. Cheat codes, I haven't got any, so I've left that off. I know some ROMs have them built in. I haven't found any that do yet. Piece of cake. So you've got the modern convenience of being able to save the game literally anywhere you want to during the game. Load it in when you like as well. Press main menu, and you're back to your list of games. Choose something else to play. It even automatically pauses if you lock your screen. Cannot be simpler than that. So how easy was that? Genuinely, I have no technical skill at all. I haven't used a computer for years and years, haven't owned one for years, and I've got no intentions of changing that. But it is so easy to do. Obviously, as I said, I can't show you where to get the ROMs from, but if you can work Google, you can get ROMs. And it's a couple of clicks of a button. Not every ROM I downloaded to try and play on that emulator worked, so I had to get a few different ones till I found one that did. No big deal. And when it comes to what it can play, the limit I've found is Game Boy Advance. I did try to get some PlayStation 1 games on there, they just weren't recognised at all by the emulator. I'm sure there is a way to do it, because an iPhone should be able to play a PlayStation 1 game, but you either probably need to fiddle with the settings or download a different emulator app. Either way, that's more complicated than I'm willing to go to at the minute. And I'm really happy just playing that little selection of retro games. And once I've played through them, I'll download a couple more and delete those ones off. It's going to keep me happy for years. And it's a great way to have games on your phone which are far, far better than the majority of the stuff you find on the App Store. But let me know what you think. Are you tempted to give it a go? Have you already done so and found it to be as easy as I have? And of course, any tips you can share would be greatly appreciated. Let me know what you think. Give the video a like if you want to. It does help me if you do. And I'll see you soon. Ta-da for now.